go live thing. And also,
yes,
Kerri,
we're live now.
I talked to the. Oh, I guess I should have said that earlier. I talk to the live fans, so sometimes it looks like I'm interrupting you.
Who are now listening.
Yes, we're on.
We are live. All right, so I have to. I always do this. Hey, you guys, we are live on Facebook. I have to go to here and look at my phone. I talked to the. Oh, I guess I should live. And you already have people are starting to watch. We are live on Facebook.
Getting some feedback.
Getting some double feedback. All right.
It's like us from the past.
You're streaming.
This isn't going to work for me.
We're streaming down the river.
We're live on Facebook.
Is this fixed?
All right. It's like us from the past.
What is going on? Okay, how's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes, that's better. Yes, we're back on. We're back in the moment.
Sorry about that delay. Okay, you guys, we're live right now. It's me, Lauren, your host. We have Chris Spinelli. We have Jay and our very, very funny guest, Kerri Louise Cotter. I don't know if you and if you guys remember from last week, this is Tom Cotter, not last week, 2 weeks ago, Tom Cotter's wife. So we're lucky we get both of them.
Yes.
Both very funny. Oh my God, we have a lot of people. Jamie's watching. Jennifer Ann is watching.
Hey, Jamie.
Hello. Thank you, Jennifer Ann. So we didn't tell you this before. You guys, in case you hear this, Noodle is coughing in the back. He's sick, so he's not going to be part of the show tonight. We always start our show with what we were voted most likely to. And Kerri, we didn't give you this warning. So if you don't have anything, you don't have to do it. But kind of like, I'll start. I was voted most likely to be the next Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. I mean, not cheerleader, quarterback.
Oh. I was laughing either way.
Is this for real or what you wish people wanted or what you really were in high school or is it what you want?
Being psychotic in my head thinking that they don't have a quarterback and I could do the job better than who they have. Yeah.
Well, I was voted most likely to use Monopoly money to put a down payment on a car.
I was voted most likely to cough up one of Noodle's hairballs.
Noodle, you're going to have to some of your hairballs.
Noodle is part of the show no matter what, Lauren.
Matter
what. You can see him right here.
Yeah, poor little guy.
Poor little guy. It sounds like a duck. It sounds like it hurts.
It's like a wheezing thing.
Oh, jeez.
I know. It does hurt. It's like
Hey, Kerri, tell us a little bit about women of a certain age. That's my good friend, Carol Montgomery.
You want to know what I was most voted for?
Yes, that's what I was waiting for, Jay.
Yeah, I was most voted for giving something for dinner. I don't cook. I'm tired of cooking. This whole pandemic, I'm just going to throw things. I'm just now throwing things in the microwave.
You know what you sound like? Do you know Stephanie Bloom? She's also from New York.
Yes, I know, and she's very, very funny. She started out in New York.
Stephanie Bloom, yeah.
I know she's from New York, and then you just said something, and I'm like, that's Stephanie. She's been on our show too.
Yeah, I love her. She's great.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
How did you meet Carol, Miss Montgomery?
Oh, we've been friends for years, ever. She's when she first came back to doing comedy in New York after LA, we met first on the Boston Comedy Festival, which is running this week that I'm doing, and I'm from Boston, so I always usually do it. And my husband was doing it that year, and I think he won that year. So I met her then, and ever since then we were friends. She's just amazing and so great, and she's the one who said, "Hey, this is how I got Funny Woman of a Certain Age on Showtime," which is that's her claim to fame. She came up with the name. She started doing all these shows. I was doing all these shows all over for her, and and they're all like I was doing them because I love the name and I love her, but they weren't the greatest shows when she was first starting out, and hardly anyone was there, and it was on a Monday night or whatever. So she calls me up and she's like, what are you doing Tuesday night? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I was going I was working in Boston, so I was going to stay and see my family and just stay for a while after working. And I'm like, I don't know, I might be staying to see my family, which is true. And, I wasn't going to come back for like a 2-person gig. And she goes, well, do you want to do Showtime? I'm like, yeah, I'll come back. I'm not my family.
Don't twist my arm.
So it just happened so fast. I went from doing all these like rooms for her that were just, and then, I knew she was trying to make it better and make a name, and then all of a sudden she has a Showtime special, and she asked me to be on it. But it was last minute because Julia Scotti was on the second season, but she was supposed to be on the first one, but she had some health issues, so I was able to slip in. So she's like, "What are you doing Tuesday?" I'm like, "Oh my God, I had 3 days really to figure out what I was going to wear."
Yeah, most important thing.
Yes.
Forget about the jokes.
Yeah, forget about most, especially most guy comics would be like, when can I get on stage? I'm like, where can I find a sale? I can look awesome on TV.
Like the bargains. I saw your stuff.
Hold on, Harry, what are you doing? This is what it's like. This is what it's like living and working at home.
Yeah.
I thought you were naked. I didn't see your pants. I just saw like you have no shirt on. Good. Okay.
By the way, Kerri, one of our fans named Erin. Hi, Erin. She loves your glasses.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
I read the live comments as we're.
Yeah.
Who's that in the background?
Live
Was that that looked like Tarzan back there?
That was one of my twins. They're up all night because they don't have to get up early for school. So I have no routine. There's no routine. I hate this pandemic. And like I said, I'm like a Denny's. I'm a Denny's because they're up.
Yeah. 24/7.
5 people, 24/7, and they're always hungry. They're making hamburgers at 3 a.m. I get up and greasy mess.
That's a teenager thing to do.
Your hours are crazy because you're comics and the pandemic. You said you're doing the Boston thing. Is that live right now, or?
Yeah, they're doing lots of live streams and stuff. And my show is a comedy show, and that's on Witty Women. Oh, what a I'm sorry. Just hate myself right now. So I'm doing that Friday night.
That's awesome. Cool. So, can I ask you, just so it sounds natural, how are you doing with this whole COVID thing? Because we're all effing hating it. So what's going on at the Cotter House?
Well, the whole thing at 3 a.m. and everybody's on different schedules. I can't stand it. And they're all home all the time now. We're completely home until January 18th. Because we're on break. Because they don't want the numbers to go up. So that's that. I don't mind wearing my mask though. I like to wear my mask because it hides my resting bitch face. So that's and my wrinkles.
And then you don't have to smile at people.
Right. And then you don't eat as much. I realize how much I eat walking around in the store and drinking. And I'm
the mask blocks it.
Like you just got out of the shower and like you're really like for how late it is where you are, you look really nice.
Well, I have my jammies on. So I have my Christmas jammies. Let me show you that. There we go.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah.
Sweet.
Awesome. So I just put on makeup. I was horrible all day.
You look very.
I kind of put my hair up and
very pretty and
but it's all after this whole little square in this box. It's all a freaking mess.
Yeah.
Hey, how did you get into comedy?
So I wanted to, people always say, were you class clown? You must be most voted class clown. I was never that because I didn't want to get in trouble because I was a sports girl. I played all sports. I was a field hockey, big.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Like you're tall.
Yeah. Oh, good. I guess I'm average size, but I played basketball, but I was guard, so I wasn't that tall, and I was guard and I sat on the bench, but yeah. But I pride myself for being a good cheerleader and banging the bleachers right at the person when they were doing the foul shot, and they missed. Because of me, because I knew exactly. I had great timing back then. I knew exactly.
It's a good skill set.
Yeah, that's a great skill set. So, but I wanted to be because I was a jock. I couldn't be a theater nerd, which is what I really wanted to be. So when I was in college, I'm like, I'm going to do theater. So acting 101, I could never take because all the seniors took it. So the only thing I could do was this. Beauty pageant that my sorority was running. They needed contestants. So like, you can do it. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. I had short hair, this short. I had DZ, Delta Zeta was my sorority, shaved in my head. And I'm like, all right, I'll do it. When I was big and chunky, I was not a beauty pageant at all. So I'm like, but I love comedy. So I was like, I'm going to do comedy for my talent. I'm going to do comedy. So I did comedy and I won. I can't believe. I don't even know what. Well, there's 4 of the gay guys in the pageant. So, but anyway, I won. And it was a preliminary for Miss New Hampshire. I went to school in New Hampshire. It was a preliminary for Miss New Hampshire. So next thing you know, I'm in the New Hampshire state pageant doing comedy for 500 people in this huge theater, ever on stage doing comedy. And everyone loved me because I was totally not a threat. So being, I was still chunky. I had still short hair, doing comedy. I was with 17 John Benet Ramsey types. I mean, doing it since they were day high.
Young, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's me doing comedy. And so I got Miss Congeniality.
Hilarious.
Nice.
But if I won, I would have been going to Miss America. I would have been representing Miss New Hampshire in the Miss America state pageant. But I went on to do something.
That is so funny.
Well, all the other contestants were pretty young then. John, you must have towered over them.
They were doing it since they were that age. That's how.
Yeah, I got you.
They lived and breathed.
So they were doing it all those years.
All those years, and then there's me, and they're like, "Let me tell you," and they're telling me all these tricks. Keep your boobs up. I didn't know that.
Did you know that you were?
I didn't know that either.
Did you know that you were funny at the time, or were you just like winging it?
Well, I just knew that I loved it. It was on TV all the time. I was watching it all the time. Now I teach it. I teach comedy, and I never took a class, but all the things that I'm teaching now, I kind of instinctually knew. I just like, I already did that. And I would always make my friends laugh. And then, I was captain of all my teams because I'm the one who told all the stories. I was always talking, and no one shut me up, and I'm always making people laugh. So I think that's where I was the class clown. I saved it for the field and the court.
I was like the girl that always got in trouble for not trying to make people laugh. But Kerri, they said that you were voted most likely to have the letters DZ shaved into your head. Michael Pinto wants to know, do you teach Tom? Or do you think, I think that's like your ongoing thing. So I think Michael needs to watch some of your videos.
Do I teach Tom,
your husband.
Tom, do I teach Tom?
Yeah, I think
I've been trying to train him we've been married 18 years. I've been trying to train him. He's still, I swear, I mean, if I have to teach him cut and paste one more time, seriously, I'm going to kill him.
And how did you meet then? You and Tom?
We met doing comedy in New Hampshire. Actually, we were skiing together. They didn't pay us that much, so they were like, "Can you do comedy and we'll give you ski tickets?" We're like, "All right." So we had to ski the
coming
whole
for skiing.
It was New Year's Eve, and so we were skiing the whole next day. It was just us. Our friends were supposed to go, but somehow they blew us off, so it was just us. And my New Year's resolution was not to date any more headshots because I thought I was just like dating too many losers with headshots. No more, and I wanted to be normal, so I was like trying to date someone normal. So all day we're skiing, and I'm flirting with him. I'm like, what? In my head, I'm like, stop flirting with him. Stop it. But he was just having so much fun. Every time he went up on the chairlift, I was like, Tom, put your tongue on that. Just to see what happened on the chairlift. I'm like, just to see what happens. Just put your tongue on. Every time he did it, ad nauseum. And you laughed every time. So we were having such a good time. We were supposed to go home that night, and we were like, let's go to the movies. We're like, okay. So we went to the movies, and that night, which I did not know, was Dumb and Dumber was playing, debuting.
Oh, yeah.
And do you know that scene on Dumb and Dumber when they went on a ski date, and he actually put his tongue right there?
Oh my God.
It gets stuck. Yeah.
Right. Tom and I are laughing hysterically. We're like laughing more than anybody else because it just happened. We were just doing it. And his tongue is right where I was telling him to put the tongue on, the same exact position. And I'm like, oh my God, so I was like, if this is not telling me to date Tom Cotter, I don't know what is.
That's
great.
The rest is history. We, most couples have a song. We don't have a song. We have a movie. It's called Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, that got you together. Comedy movie
for
comedians.
It was a match made in heaven, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard? I mean, like, sometimes when I was going through the ranks and stuff, people said, hey, don't date another comic. Do you ever, or definitely, like, I would try to make a rule. I'd never try to date a waitress at a club that I was at. And sometimes that paid off. Sometimes I didn't listen.
Did you marry a waitress?
No, but it worked out for you. Did you ever hear that?
For me.
Yeah.
I remember when we got married, Joe Rogan called us and left a message on his machine. Dude, I said never date a headshot. That's my Snapchat. Do you see that I'm go yellow sometimes?
Yes.
That means you're doing Snapchat?
That's my Snap camera. Look what it can do. It's so fun when it works.
Are you doing bunny
not working
or?
Yeah, you can do bunny ears and stuff, but I just quit it because it's not working.
It's just bright yellow, even though that's cute.
Yeah, it's like
why is it not?
It's gold.
Why is it doing that? All right, I know. I'm gonna shut it off. I'm gonna shut it off.
Probably my Zoom thing because.
There we go. Hello.
That's
try to be tech. You can put filters on, and it puts makeup on you.
Oh
you
my
should
God.
get this.
Okay. Kerri, I've been on these calls before, and this girl, like, she would keep changing her face, thinking we all didn't notice and start laughing, but we all noticed, and we just didn't like it.
No.
So that's what that is. It can give you filters, and it can put makeup on your face. It's unbelievable. The makeup is it's perfect.
So I can add muscles. Can I add muscles to me?
Where's the option on the Zoom?
You have to download it. It's called Snap Camera. It's called Snap Camera, and I think it's part of Snapchat.
Okay, so it's
Snapchat.
The face recognition and stuff like that. And you can put a hat on it.
Technology.
Yeah, you can do like dinosaur face and.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Effects.
When you
special effects.
You can be a prop act. Like, this is the new normal, people. You can be a prop act.
It's true.
When you and Tom go out with friends, do you guys ever have competition to see who's fun? Like a group of comics, sometimes they get together and someone's got to be funnier than the next person.
Egos, yes.
But do you find yourselves doing that with each other or no?
Well, our acts intertwine with each other sometimes because I make fun of him all the time, and so then when he goes on after me, he rebuttals and he gets like applause breaks of my setups, like my setup. He gets like the callback. Callbacks are always funnier, so he gets like, and after I do all the hard work.
I saw your double act with him. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's really funny.
And then we go on stage together. There's some competition, like in the house, there's competitions, there's fights over jokes. Like if our kids say something funny, which is usually the case, and together we'll be like you can tell our minds are thinking like, oh my God, that's gonna be funny, and then he's like, I got it, I hosey it. I'm like, I hosey it.
Yeah. And
then we'll start writing together, like who has the touchline, like that's what we'll do, and then it gets more and more vulgar, like who can be the
But to go back to what you're saying about that, you're setting them up all the time. It's sort of the through line for you because, like you're saying, when you played basketball, you're on the bench, setting other things up.
I know.
Maybe there's something there.
I got 5 assists on your jokes. So.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
It's all the TV credit.
Would you want your kids to go into comedy or no?
Absolutely not. That's why we had kids. No. That is our retirement plan. Them getting a good job.
Smart. Very smart.
Michael wants to know who you think the funniest comedian that we've never heard of besides Jay. Who do you think that America thinks is funny, but maybe we don't know who they are? Because I have my favorites. Like some of my favorites are like Ron White, Kathleen Madigan, and surprisingly, many people haven't heard of them. So
really, oh, okay. Because I was thinking like even below them, because I'm thinking, those are my favorite too. David Tell, like everybody in Norton, people know them, right? Yeah. Well, Carol Montgomery.
Carol, you're right. That's a good one. Michael, you need to Google Carol Montgomery. She's very funny, and she's the one that does the whole female thing.
Vanessa Holly. Vanessa Holly is very funny. She did the show too. Kara Foster, huge fun. I have a bunch of women that I love. I will promote and cheerlead all women all the time. Most women are funny. Bernadette Polly. I can name like all these women that no one knows that are very funny.
Especially because like when you see them all the time. And Ace wants to know, what was the weirdest gig you've ever had?
These Zoom fucking shows.
Happening right now.
Oh my God, it's happening right. Oh my God. And I did an outside theater in people are in cars beeping. They were big. That is the weirdest, but I thought it was going to suck. I'm like, really? Because, when you do New Year's Eve shows, you're like, don't give them the noisemakers before we take the stage because I'll get heckled with these noise. So I'm thinking, oh my God, it's going to be a New Year's Eve show where it's going to freaking suck. I got all these cars. I'm outside and I felt like a concert, like I was in a concert, and they had me on the screen, huge screens on either side. So I'm like, how are the jokes gonna work? I thought it was gonna be bad, but it was really fun because they started doing these little beeps early on in my setup, and it didn't bother. They were like, I'm with you, girl. I'm with you. I'm like, exactly what I'm talking about. So by the time I got to the punchline, it was like I was like had all this energy because I knew they were with me with all these beats. And then they would
giggle.
They would like hold on the horn, and I was like, oh my God! And it gave me so much energy. It was like really cool. Although I thought it
was that during COVID?
That was during COVID because it was outside and was in a couple of those theaters. And unfortunately, by the time they caught on, because everybody thought, oh, this is going to be a few months. But by the time it was like the end of summer. So I wish I had more of those all summer long. I wish I was doing all these theaters. I mean, outside movies.
Those shows.
Drive-ins, right?
Yeah, drive-ins.
Yeah.
That's what they were called, drive-ins. But I only did a handful because by the time they learned how to do it, the summer was over.
Because you're in New York City, right?
Yes, but I was doing those like they were, in the suburbs. I did one in Jersey, one in Boston, and one like way upstate New York.
You guys, it's so weird because I thought COVID was going to end on Easter because that's what
that's what we were promised, right?
So what was it? What's Carol? I can't say the whole name of that show. Females Without.
Funny Woman of a Certain Age.
Yeah. So I got it completely wrong. So there was how many of you guys that were involved in that?
The first season, me, Carol, Vanessa, Fran Drescher, Linnell, and someone else. So 6.
Was Karen Rontowski part of that? No,
but she was part of the shows in LA. Like she would go to LA too and do them. And I'm pretty sure she's done some in LA.
And was
Carol tends to go to certain cities too, and then she'll have like an all-star cast from that city kind of thing.
Okay, from each one.
I spent like 21 days with Carol in South Korea. She's hilarious. And she was talking about this concept. Didn't she also have like Fran Drescher?
Yeah, so Fran Drescher did the first season, and thank God she's the one who, you know, said yes, and you know, kind of listened. So it was great. So now we're not doing these crappy shows. Now she's on tour because of Showtime, which is amazing. So it's so nice to be a part of it at the very beginning. However, let me just tell you, it's called Woman of a Certain Age, and I would have lied about my age just to get.
what's the benchmark?
But I didn't have to lie. I made it. I was the youngest on the show. What did you say, Lauren?
What's
sweet?
Like, what is she? Does she have a certain age, or does she?
For the Showtime, I think it was like 50, and then all the road gigs, I think it's like she tried to do 40 and up. Like, and there was some young girls going, "Can I be on the show?" She's like, I really gotta, you know, put an age limit, sort of. I mean, she's loosely in her road shows, but I think Showtime she tried to do, you know, 50, and I had just made it. By the way,
you look great for 60.
I'm 70, so.
So, Kerri, do you like being called a comedian, or do you want to be like what other comics are called? Or
yeah, you know, there's a lot of women that are sticklers about that, and they want to be just comics. I want to be a comic. You know, I'm a woman. I'm a woman comic. I'm going to own it. I want to be a woman comic, and I'll own that. That's great. Mm-hmm. What I don't like is I don't like getting introduced. Next, we have a female. You know, next we have our first woman coming to us. Like when they make a big deal out of it like that.
Are you guys ready for some estrogen?
Yeah. Like that, I do not like. And because already they hate me. It's like, thank you. I could have done that on my own, but
thanks for setting me up for that.
Setting me up for that, because, you know. But like, I don't really mind being called a comedian or a female comedian, because that's what I am, and I can't change myself, and I'm proud of being a woman comedian, and so I don't mind that. And look, I'll take, if they need, sometimes you got to take what you can get too. So if they're looking for a female comic, I'm gonna, you know, I'll wave my hand and show.
That's my philosophy too.
There's some actresses that says I'm an actor. It's not a gender thing. I'm an actor. So
take what you can get, baby.
Yeah. You know, I can understand it, and I do want to be equal, and I want to be paid equal, but it's not. I tried to change it. I've been at this business for over 20 years, and I tried to, you know, it's just not going to change. I'm trying to move the needle that, you know, women are funny, and there's got to be more of us. And it's just so, the needle is moved a little bit, especially because of the Me Too movement and stuff like that. But it is so hard to change people's minds that women can be funny. All women.
I know a lot of funny women. Do you feel like you have to dumb stuff down sometimes? Sometimes people don't get all the smart stuff.
Yeah. And then I hate when people say, well, you can't say that because you're a woman. And I lived it, because I live with a comic. So there's a lot of jokes that I'm like, you know what? Like there's a joke from, for instance, that I wrote, my twins, because they were twins, my due date was such and such, but because they were twins, they came early, just like my husband. And when I give that joke to Tom to try it, he gets a freaking applause break, because he's talking about his shortcomings about his penis. It's so much funnier for him to talk about his penis, but I can't talk about my husband's penis.
Right. Weird.
So
interesting.
They do. Guys do. I see it. They have it a little easier. They get more respect from the audience, more respect from the bookers. It happens. It does. But you know what? Look, I have to try a little harder. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just going to keep going.
You do it. Yeah, you're doing just fine.
I think people get so offended these days. Like, I feel like I have to change a lot of my material, and I always want to start up. If you guys are easily offended, there's like a AMC movie theater down the street. You can choose what movie, but I feel like I've had to change some of my material through all this COVID stuff and how people get offended.
I hate to sacrifice myself for that, and I can't. It's like, why are you coming to a comedy club?
Right.
To begin with, right?
Why would you even walk in here?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know for walking in.
Do you feel like New York is more laid back as far as that goes? I had a show where somebody brought their 8-year-old and just slammed me, and I'm like, that's on you for bringing an your 8-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
But I feel like people like in New York, you can get away with more.
New York, especially the clubs right in the city. I think we're just, especially late night clubs. I mean, people just know we have that reputation, and so
Right.
I think you can get away with a lot more in New York than you can.
Okay. I bet.
So, oh, here we go. I want to read this thing to you. I have it on my thing. Don't blame a clown for acting like a clown. Ask yourself why you keep going to the circus.
Perfect.
Right? I have that on my desktop because because you want to remind yourself of that, because especially when you're writing things like Twitter and Facebook, like I'm constantly now writing something and going, wait a minute, and then spending a whole day before I press send. And now I'm like I'm not posting anything anymore on Twitter and Facebook because it's just too much. It's like I'm gonna hurt someone's feelings, and now I keep second guessing myself. I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to.
I'm like I just use social media for comedy, but I still can find a way to offend somebody. So, even like silly memes and stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, I'm over it. If you're gonna get all like crazy.
But if they're gonna get all crazy, then it's like no news. I mean, bad press is good press. So it's the same thing. It's
right.
Like,
that's true too. Yeah, you can look at it that way.
Yeah. So I wrote a post when the president got COVID, and when the wife, both the husband and wife, and I just said, apparently she does touch him. And people were so mad at me. I'm like, it's not even a COVID joke. It's not even.
It's funny.
It's a husband and wife joke.
It's funny. Yeah.
And then it was like, because it was Trump. Oh my God. I got the political end of it too.
Yeah.
It's too bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. God
said,
forbid.
I posted something that said, if the lockdown worked before, why are we having another one? But if the lockdown didn't work before, why are we having another one? Oh my God. Somebody wrote an essay on what a a-hole I was because I didn't understand how people weren't following all the rules. I'm like,
oh gosh.
Do you even know me? That was a joke.
Right. I know. This is,
by the way,
it's on edge all the time.
Pandemic, politics, it's all crazy. 2020, the year 2020.
But if you guys haven't seen her act with her husband, it's really funny. I like how you play off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very funny. What was the one thing he said when he filmed your birth, but it was like a sequel because he also filmed the conception?
Yeah. And I'm like, what? No, you didn't. No, it's really difficult. We should do more on stage together. I mean, it's definitely not heard of, and something that this genre should be coming back and bring it back, and we should do it. But where the thing is, we would be open micers, and we're both working at night. Like our nighttime is our day job. So we can't practice together. It's like you would think that it's easy to do it. We need to practice.
Well, the other good thing about doing that, with him in a show, I mean, since we do a lot of shows, when an audience sees, comedian after comedian, and then something like you guys both go up, I think that a lot of times the audience is like, oh, this is different. This is good. So you kind of have an advantage there. Do you see that? Yeah.
Yeah, but we hardly do because we always feel like we're not ready. You're supposed to make it at the illusion of the first time, and it's very hard to do with another person. I have to work with my husband, and my husband. We're so different styles too, and my husband does not like quiet. So if I like to act, and I act out most of my things, and I like the quietness and thinking, and let them think, and then I'm more theater. He's like, okay. You can't be quiet. We need a punchline.
Yeah, okay. He wants to keep it going. Yeah.
Yeah. Work with him like that. But we do. We complement each other a little bit that way too. So.
Right.
I mean, you probably don't get booked together very often though. So that has to be a whole.
Because we make money, but we make more money separate.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a common thing. Oh, Ace,
Right.
your joke. Use the line. Is anyone out there? I can hear you breathing.
What when you're doing adult, like you do, if you do dirty material, do you find that same double standard, or do you find audiences receptive either way?
It depends on where I am in the like. So I loved performing pregnant. I loved it. Because I had a prop. It was like they loved me they immediately loved me, and I could feel it before I even opened my mouth. It was so much fun to be pregnant. I felt like a guy. I felt like I felt the fat guy. It was awesome. The fat guys are always funny. So so when one of my jokes that I loved to do when I was pregnant was late night. I would wait till I was doing something really late night in the city and walk up. I'd let them see my belly, and then I would say, it was be quiet. And then at the right time, I would just say, so I'm fucking these guys, right? And I loved it. And it totally was so much fun. It was work, but I could never do that on a ship or at a country club, or, there's a lot of things that I can't do at
right.
Have you done cruise ships before? Because I imagine raising some kids, you probably didn't.
Yeah, I never really tapped that market as much. And it's really, you got to be totally squeaky clean. You have to have there's lots of different rules, and for you to invest that time, and then you're on the ships all the time. And I'd rather be close by and in the city.
Yeah, I know I don't have a cruise act, but a lot of our comics have had. Has Tom done cruise?
Yes, he used to do, and I remember he came back home after 12 days, and the kids were young.
Yeah.
And I had a bunch of laundry, and I just like shoved it to him and said, I can't take it anymore. Can't do this. No more.
I saw him in Vegas after he lost to the Three Dogs, but I saw him with his act at the Palazzo because I was there with my dad. So that's how I became a Tom Cotter fan. Also, America's Got Talent, but
he was gone for 8 weeks then, but we did get a chance to go see him in between, so that was good.
That's good.
And so I had to pull the boys out for basketball to go. They were in 8th grade or less. They were smaller than that, and the basketball coach kicked him off the team because they missed many. Yeah. They don't know the play. I'm like, and it's a Catholic. It was a Catholic church basketball. They don't know the plays. I'm like, can they teach them the plays? I mean, we have one more game left. Seriously, you're gonna kick them off now? They have one more. I remember fighting that fight when I was a mom, and I'm like, seriously? I think he was maybe jealous. I don't know, but come on.
Your kids,
yeah, really.
They weren't 8th grade. They were 8 years old. I think 8 years old.
Jeez.
Plays because we missed one too many to see their father on TV. Okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
Your kids think you're funny, or do they think like, oh my God, you're so embarrassing?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. That's why I don't even know Instagram. Like I try to do Instagram. I'll get a note like, Ma, I saw you Insta. No offense, but they'll text me this. No offense, but it was, and they don't even have words. It's an emoji, a throw up green emoji face.
Oh yeah.
So I screen snapped it and put it on my Facebook page. Thousands likes. So I went.
And kids
are your kids funny? Are they? I mean, but they come from two comedians. How can they?
Yeah, right.
I hate the fact that they're funny. Like I'll try not to laugh, and they're like, "Mom, it's funny. You laughed, because I don't want to encourage any of that behavior. And the fact that they got kicked off the basketball team, so they can't even get a basketball scholarship. So that I lost that. But in the parent-teachers conference, I would always have to say they're very good kids, they're smart, they're good, but I don't know, sometimes they cross the line and they joke or whatever, and they shouldn't say. I'm like, that's the hardest thing to teach in comedy.
Job.
Yeah. I'm like, they're gonna be fine.
So your other son that's not the twin, does he feel left out?
Yes, and you know what he's gonna be? He's gonna be the comedian.
Yeah, because a lot of your act is about the twins, and he's probably like, "What about me?"
I have some jokes about him. I have some jokes about Well, I wanted him to be a girl.
Right. Oh yeah. So you want him to be gay so you could go shopping with him.
Right. So, and I didn't want to know what the sex. I didn't want to know who the father was. But, I did. But he is struggling for attention, and he'll do anything. Especially talk about cross the line. You should hear the things that come out of his face just to make his
How old is
he? He is 13. He's in 8th grade. 13. Yeah, a young 13-year-old who shouldn't be.
8th grade. Yeah. Wow.
He's on TikTok listening to all that. I'm like, what are you listening to? What is that? He's like, Mom, it's TikTok. I know it. I won't. The thing.
Yeah, I do the TikTok. Painful.
Yeah, Lauren's in 9th grade though. So.
I just do comedy ones. So I don't do all the stuff the kids like. I just do stuff I like. That's for comedy. So I don't get millions of likes, but if I get 200, I'm happy.
That's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So how does it work when you guys have to flip a coin for who goes on the road? I mean, how does that work? One of you has to stay with the kids, right?
Yeah, not so much now because they're older, so I'm like, which is great, but I would always usually stay with the kids, but sometimes I would get a better opportunity than him, and so we would have to scramble. Like, whenever the phone rings for him, he's always like, yep, not a thought. Guys, they're like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'll go there, I'll do this. Whenever the phone rings for me, it's like a panic. It's like a math problem. It's like, okay, how much
can I do this?
Is my babysitter gonna make?
Yeah.
Is my babysitter worth more than the gas that it's gonna take me to get to this gig? Am I gonna be home too late and I can't get up to feed the baby? Things like that.
It's like algebra.
Guys.
Like, if one kid leaves this point at this point, and I go,
and Tom is on a cruise.
Yeah. Well, how much laundry am I going to have when he gets back?
Yes. Is it worth the TV credit to have a
exactly. The TV credit that's going to end up being 17 years old anyway, so
right.
It doesn't matter.
That's right.
This COVID shit needs to end. By the way, Michael Pinto just asked, is Noodle in timeout? Obviously, you haven't watched it in the beginning because I explained that he's not feeling well. He's been at the vet all day and he's on meds, so he has a little laryngitis or bronchitis.
Laryngitis.
Doggitis.
Right.
Noodle-gitis.
It's a trachea.
Right.
Oh no, they put him on this
So bad.
damn bio-identical cough suppressant that I had to go to like 4 pharmacies. I'm like, you know how many things I have to do today, but it's okay. I'll just drive to all the pharmacies in LA. No big deal. And
Yeah.
One guy had it and I called him and he answers the phone. Hello? I'm like, is this that one pharmacy that someone referred me to? Yeah, I'll have your order ready. I'm like, you don't even know what I need.
Yeah.
It's the only thing on here that dogs ever need. And it's freaking oxycodone, hydrocodone, whatever.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Hey, I'm gonna come over and help.
They
Yeah,
have,
shoot me up on that.
they have to run my license as if I'm gonna go make meth, which I have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
meth.
come over and help you take care of Noodle.
Yeah, I want some
I'll
puppy
give him
meth.
his medicine.
Yeah.
Bye.
Everyone
Everyone-
over there with his paws trying to chop it up.
My trachea is starting to hurt a little bit.
One for me, one for Noodle.
2 for me. 0
One
for
for Noodle.
Sit. I'll give you my paw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might cough a little bit, but
Oh.
he's also
Oh.
drugged up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Noodle looks a little drugged
Rude.
up.
He's a little
Yeah.
drugged.
Drugs yet? Yeah.
But this is like last night, he kept me up the whole night coughing, so I'm super tired. But I just thought
Yeah.
This is a part, Kerri, where you have to hold your kid up too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is your dog on
Bring him
drugs.
up.
Yeah.
This is your kid on drugs.
It's our Lion King moment.
and in like 3 hours I have to do another joke.
Anyway, I wish I could sing.
Poor little guy. Breaking
Hey,
news.
is Tom pretty good? Tom pretty good about sharing chores and stuff? You mentioned you threw him the laundry. Does he?
Yeah, yeah, you know, he is. I have to admit, it's funnier when he's not, but I'll give him this. But it's like when I do go on the road and come back, if he's at home with the kids, I have to reteach everything because he's a kid himself. So the kids think that it's okay to do this, that, and the other, and
Yeah, no, it's not okay.
Are you guys close to the same age?
my husband and I.
Yeah.
He's 5 years older than me.
He's 5 years older. So
Good God.
somebody just asked if this is how Tom looks after sex.
Yes. And that's a double joke because he lost to dogs on America's Got Talent. Too.
No.
Oh yeah.
Thanks
that's sad.
for wrote that. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah.
I saw that episode or act or show, whatever. Are you okay, buddy?
Do you have
Were the dogs doing stand up or what was going on? Did he beat them?
Some of the dogs did backflips, 8 backflips in a row.
Trick dogs.
They were so cute. They were. I almost voted for them. That's how cute they were. Seriously, against my husband. They were really cute and good. And America loved dogs, but my husband should have still won.
And
Yes.
did the dogs get a pilot then after that?
I don't know where the dog. They got very expensive doggy treats, I guess. But
Yeah.
When I saw Tom in Vegas, I think his act was, who was that little girl? There was a little girl. What did she do? Was she a
it was a singer, I think.
singer?
Yeah, and she played the piano too. She was really talented. But when you do win, people don't realize when you. I'm kind of glad. Little secret. I'm glad he didn't win because there would be a lot of pressure on me because you don't really win the million. If you take the annuity, it's really like if you don't take the annuity, it's like you get $25,000 a year till he's 80. He's not gonna live till he's 80.
Right.
And that's not that much money. And if you take the annuity, it would be like I would get a part-time job at Dunkin' Donuts. So in my town, people are like, wait, I thought your husband won the million. Why do you still look like shit?
Yeah. It's not. Yeah.
Well, Kerri, anytime you get in trouble, we might be able to get you a job at Denny's.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Okay, he's starting to call.
But you've got that rock solid retirement plan in those kids.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be going to college. Both my husband and I are out of a job.
Let them be engineers or
I
something.
can afford college. Our plan was ruined this pandemic.
Yeah.
So are you teaching still right now? Are you teaching comedy during this, like on Zoom then?
I was for a little, and then it's just so hard because for you to teach comedy, they have to go out and try their jokes. My thing is stage time. If you're not getting stage time, but we were a little bit and doing some writing sessions because you can get a little bit on Zoom, but not a whole lot.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
But the writing needs to be tested out. Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be tested. Yeah. So a lot of people are like,
Sure.
that's funny. I'm like, I don't know. I get it.
So when you teach, do you have like an agreement with a club and then they have like a graduation night, or is that how you did that? Or
Yeah, so I teach for the Manhattan Comedy School, and there's a club right down the street from my house, a really good club, the Levity Live Club at the Palisade Mall. So I would teach comedy there, which is great. It was 8 minutes from my house, and we'd have a big graduation show, and it would be at an A room. So the kids who were doing the stand-up were at the end of their 7-week show would get a great tape. I'm like,
Oh, cool.
For the tape, the price alone for this class, it's worth just the tape.
Right.
So I got a lot of people repeating themselves, and they would come again and again just to get that tape, to get a new tape, and also
cool.
So if someone
writing.
Mm-hmm.
If someone was interested in taking your class, how would they get in touch with you about
They
that?
can get in touch because I do privates too. So I do a lot of privates on Zoom as well. So they can get in touch with me, Kerri Louise at kerrilouise.com. Spell my name with an I, not the Y, or you'll get the porn star. That's a whole different class.
Oh, I'm glad that you changed it on the screen so people can.
Yes.
Do you want to promote any of your you just did that, but any of your
Yes.
Oh, you have the book, Mean Moms.
Funny
look
we
at that.
should mention that. Woo!
Yay.
That's right.
Nice.
I think there'd be
Mean
needs to be
mommy.
more mean mommies and more mean daddies in the world. Not everybody's gonna win. And if you don't eat your broccoli, you're gonna get shot with a Nerf gun.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna make something new. I'm not gonna microwave something new for you. Microwave nuggets.
I posted Tom's book on our page last week, and I'll post your book. Yep. Bad
Yep.
Denny.
Bad and mean mom. Okay, my kids are gonna grow up. There's gonna be a lot of therapy for them. And then, this. Do you know about this book?
Harry the elephant has an allergy.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is my
Yeah.
latest book. My son, one of my twins, Harry, is allergic to eggs and nuts, and so I wrote a book about that.
Oh.
It's just a fun little children's book that just kind of normalizes allergies and being alone at the.
Oh, that's cool.
Guess what? A comic. I'm so proud of this. A comic illustrated it.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, cool. Wow, that's
And he
good.
does a lot of cruises. So do you guys know Jimmy Carroll?
I don't know Jimmy.
No.
New York.
He does a lot of cruises. He's very funny, and he does a lot of he does comedy in sketches too. So and on his Facebook.
Oh, cool.
page.
Wow, those are great. That's
That's
really
awesome.
cool.
So it's so weird that all of a sudden, like,
Yeah.
eggs, peanuts are allergies. They were never allergies when we were kids.
Right. I know.
Whole thing.
I
know.
I got them good. I can relate.
So both of those books are on Amazon, and Christmas
Cool.
is
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah.
Look
Cool.
really cute under a tree.
I'll post it on our page because you know what? Can I just say, Michael Pinto, who's watching right now, he wanted an autographed book from Tom, and I don't know how to get him one. I can send him a link to buy the book, but do you guys autograph them too?
Yeah. So so I think he can go on his page, and you can go on my page and get an autographed book on my page, or just email him, and he'll send a. You know, you can just Venmo me because I get all the money, and we'll send him a book. And same with me. Just email Kerri Louise at kerrilouise.com, and I can autograph a book for you guys too.
And he said he wants your book. He wants your book too. He just said.
All right, so just email me.
Okay. I got.
Yeah.
it.
We'll
I'm
hunt
looking
it
at
down.
my
Wake
phone.
them up.
For their info. So I will.
So her email is kerrilouisemakesbank.com.
Accurate. Yeah, this is what I do. I'm like, I poke him. I'm like, sign this book. I wake him up. Sign this book. I do all the work, so I should get the Venmo.
Right. That's what I'm wearing. So I'll. Do you want to say your Venmo?
Yeah, if anybody wants to tip me. Kids are going to college. I got twins going to college. My Venmo is, I think it's at Kerri Louise.
She thinks that's hilarious.
Hold on.
Some other girl named Kerri Louise is gonna be taking bank.
I'm going to show you the picture. I'll show it to you. Where's my thing? Venmo. There we go. Okay, at Kerri Louise. Kerri is capitalized and Louise is capitalized. Ooh, how do I do that?
Oh, look at that.
There I am with
Yeah.
my doodle. I have a doodle. I have a doggy too.
Oh, okay, very cool. Okay.
Take a screenshot of that QR code and put in hundreds, thousands, whatever you
Yeah.
feels necessary. Then.
That's
Is
awesome.
there a limit?
Sweet.
There's no limit. I don't have any limit. You want to give me whatever? And I don't know where my doggy is, but there's a picture of me and my doggy doodle. My
More importantly, what kind of dog do you
the golden doodle mini.
Oh!
Wait a minute, hold on. Now you're gonna see my jammies.
Hilarious. You know, like I'm getting it.
She has the same jammy pants as the Tarzan that was in the background.
Yeah.
They're both wearing the red pants.
Oh my God! Look at this.
Look at that.
What's his
Oh,
name?
look at that.
This is Brady. Say hello.
Hi, Brady.
It's
I know
like another.
Brady, who's a golden retriever. Hi.
He looks,
Yeah.
he looks like he could
Hey,
be
boy.
Noodle's cousin.
Yeah.
I know, but he looks so cute because he's not coughing.
Yeah.
He's
Well-
not drugged out either.
And
His
if you
trachea
guys,
is okay.
if
Trachea is
you guys
intact.
want to, donate some hydrocodone for me,
Yeah.
I'm at onefunnyguy.com. So just put it in the mail.
No
Stick it
limit
in
on the
there.
dosages, right? No limit.
Yeah.
Great
Jay
Persian.
Hewlett
Fifth
loves the codone lozenges.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got the great Persian pharmacist that doesn't let you in his store. You have to sign the papers through his gate where he gives you your license back. And he's a smoker and it's in the hood. Did I get all that
Oh.
in? Okay.
Yeah. you did.
You need drugs after you deal with him.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Sounds like it.
And I like how he runs my license. I'm like, Do you see my dog in the car? Do you see this prescription has VCA vet on it? Like seriously?
Jeez.
Oh my God. Well, we've had fun. We kind of went a lot over, but that's because we had fun talking to you, and we are so appreciative. Seriously, everyone, like,
Thank you.
you're amazing, and you're on the East Coast. You stayed up for this, and I just love
Yeah, thank you.
Just wonderful.
And remember, we owe you a grand slam, baby.
Right.
Oh yes. I thank
Come
you so
back
much
out
for
here.
having me. I can't wait to go out to LA and get a grand slam at Denny's.
I know.
Yes.
I can't wait to go to New York and go to a Denny's in the snow.
Right. Yeah.
And you can say whatever you want on stage.
Yeah, that's right.
Worry about
Not
Enjoy
right.
comedy
judgmental.
freedom.
So
Yeah.
Kerri, I don't think you know this either. So we'll test your improv skills. We always say what we learned.
Oh, okay.
And I always write mine first because I should just say what I learned. But what I learned, because I wrote this earlier, was every day around midnight, I'm shocked to find out it's only 6 p.m.
Oh, can I just shout out? I just got paid.
Oh, good.
Michael.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. He paid
Michael
me
paid
good
us,
money.
yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't even have.
But he's the one that wants you. So now you better send him a book.
Oh, Michael
Yeah.
wants my book. Michael. Okay.
Better start signing that
He
thing.
wants Tom's
Right.
book too.
Yeah, I think he wants a book.
He wants yours.
Yeah.
And Tom's
I'll give
book.
him more than more. He paid way too much for these books.
Oh.
We don't know what the
They
price
put a
is.
naked picture in it. Thank you so much, Michael.
And Michael,
Hey,
send us
Thanks.
for me or whatever the address we can send those to so that I can
Yeah.
send Kerri and Tom.
Thank you.
Wow, I think
Thanks,
we
Michael.
got to start doing Venmo on the show.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, he just said he Venmo. That was really sweet, Michael. Very
Yeah,
look,
very nice.
It's so easy, and you know what? It's fun. They make it fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
When I pay people, I always like write funny little jokes, but I actually like receiving instead of spending.
Yeah.
right. And
It's always nice to
fun 'cause
receive
it
Right.
than to
comes with
give.
emoji, and you can put like if you paid them for like mowing your lawn, there's a lawnmower. You know,
Yeah,
it's
right.
so much fun
Right.
doing it.
I always like.
So it's like you don't even.
like
Social payments.
I just paid my friend the other day, and I said it was our friendship renewal.
Yeah.
But you know what's so funny about it too? It's like Facebook like can take you down that rabbit hole of hell, and you like hate yourself because everybody's doing so much better. Same thing with
Yeah.
this Venmo. Like, how does that woman have so much money to pay? She's paying a trainer
I would love to tell you.
Botox, that bitch.
Yeah. It's all displayed.
I have a story to tell you offline because I don't want to say it in public, but somebody famous that you know in New York was going through their Venmo and liked my payment to another person. I'm like, you're going through Venmo like it's social media. It was
Yeah. People
really-
do that.
Yeah, it was somebody.
Hey,
offline.
what I've learned is
We're all trained.
I'm ready for some estrogen.
Well, what I've learned is that if you use Monopoly money to put a down payment on a car, they'll arrest you. Yeah,
Callback.
it is a callback. Good one, Jay. Yes, callback joke.
Kerri,
Um,
you could play or not. What?
I learned that Lauren's dog is a drug addict. And that there's no cough drops for doggy. I mean, just give him a cough drop. Seriously, you gotta drug him all night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Noodle to come live with me and tell him to bring his drugs.
Also, if you had
Yeah. So bring the party's starting.
you're like,
Yeah.
just take this to a pharmacy.
Like,
So I went to Ralph's, I went to CVS, and then like finally I'm like, seriously, people, I called the VCA. I go, next time you make someone leave with this, tell them where they can flip and get it because I don't have all afternoon. So
right.
I went to the ghetto behind this donut shop. I'm not sure.
Doggy drugs. Woo!
Well, you found your
so-
dealer.
So what I'm gonna
You get
do,
arrested for doggy drugs.
I'm gonna
You-
bye
Cook
to
exchange.
you on real quick just to say bye, but I want to say bye to America. Jamie, you finally.
Bye.
Jamie is one of our biggest fans, and he just commented only at the very end. Jamie
Oh.
must have been busy like cooking
Making
steak.
a cabinet.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
building a cabinet.
Big hunks of bacon.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you did miss us all last week because we were traveling. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm going to stop the live stream. Bye, America.
Bye, everybody.